Hi, I'd just like to welcome everyone to the Board of Health meeting for April 22nd, 2024. This meeting is being recorded per all of Mass General laws that relate to Zoom public hearings. So with that, I'm not the chairman, I'm the board of director. For anybody who's not familiar with us, we have a new board. Prior board chairperson, Doug White, has retired, so we are left without a chairperson. So with that, I'm going to be just opening up tonight's meeting. And the first thing I'd like to do is take a vote to accept the agenda for tonight's meeting. And if I could just have one person make a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept. I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. I have to take a roll call vote because it's a Zoom meeting. How does chairperson, how does board person Conley vote?
Yes.
And board person Shea?
Yes.
And board person DeSoto? Did I say that right?
No, Delato.
No. Delato?
Yeah, DeSoto used to be a car.
I know. I'm old too, John. And John, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay, so we will open up the agenda and open up the meeting. The first item on the agenda is to vote and discuss a new Board of Health member and election of the Board of Health chairman. Do I have any nominations for a board chairperson?
I nominate the person who has been there before me, the existing board member with
And that's
the most
Karen
tenure.
Conley?
Yes, okay, I nominate her.
Okay. Do I have a second, Allison?
You have a second. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. I'd like to take a roll call vote. Karen, how do you vote?
Do I have to abstain?
No, you're a board member. You can vote for someone else if you want.
Oh, I'll accept.
Yes. And Allison, how do you vote?
I accept that as well. Yes.
And John, how do you vote?
Yes.
Yes. Being unanimous. Karen, congratulations. You are the new chairperson for the Scituate Board of Health. And I will let you take over the next item on the agenda. Congratulations.
Okay. Nothing like being thrown right into it, but here we go.
You are thrown into the fire.
Okay, let's go to our second item on the agenda, and that is the Community Septic Betterment Program, the loan application number 12.
Okay, so for the new board members, I'll just give you a little, I sent the information about the betterment program, but the town of Scituate received approval by a town meeting vote to enact a community septic management program. And this septic replacement program is made possible by a loan from the Massachusetts Water Pollution Abatement Trust. And it's managed by Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection. It makes loans available to homeowners with a failed septic system in environmentally sensitive areas identified by the town of Scituate. And to qualify, residents' property must have a failed septic system. So this is our 12th application. We don't give the addresses of the people that are applying for them, but we do have documentation that this location, this property in Scituate has a failed septic system. They're currently pumping on a regular basis, and they need the betterment program to put a new septic system in. It's going to be a boot system, which is quite costly because that's the only thing that they can put in this area. And we have a total cost between, it's the installer, the engineer, and the electrician. It's $55,426. So we would like the board to approve up to $60,000 in case there's some added costs for this homeowner. They've done their due diligence in trying to determine if they need plumbing costs, which they say they don't. So there might be some additional costs going down the line. They did, our program says that 3 installer quotes are needed. Unfortunately, they were only able to get 2, and because of their time constraint in getting this approved, we told them that we'd take the 2 quotes. They did give us the installer that they want, which was $46,076. And then the engineer's cost was $5,500 and the electrician's cost was $3,850, which brought it up to $55,426. So I don't know if anybody has any questions. It's quite a process. There's a lot of things that have to go through the town before we do. If you approve it, then it goes to the state for approval. And then the state sends the funds electronically. And once they're sent electronically, then the homeowner is can start. We do have a septic system already on file for this that we've already approved. So they are like, they're ready to go. They're just looking for the funds for this. So I don't know if
So,
anybody has any other questions.
Yeah, I have one question, Joan. Does this one need to go through conservation?
She's going through they're going through conservation this week on Wednesday.
Okay.
So our septic permit is contingent on that. So we haven't issued it until they go to conservation.
Yep. Okay, great. I don't have any other questions, I don't think. Allison or John, any questions?
Well, and not specifically to this, but the program in general. So why don't we vote
Okay.
on this and then I can ask the general questions.
Okay.
So before you ask that, I just want, Joe, on the general program, Joan, the monies that are, this is a loan, this gets put on their taxes and then it gets paid back that way.
Correct. It's a
Right,
5%.
right.
It's 5% over 20 years, and they, spread it out and it gets put on their tax bill. And they have a loan agreement that they have to sign, and we registered that with the Plymouth Registry Deed.
All right, number one, I move to approve it.
Okay.
Do we have a second?
I have a second. I approve.
Okay, and I'll say yes. Allison, how do you vote?
Yes.
And John?
Yes.
Okay.
The general question I'm asking is, in the future, how do we know that a septic system has failed, particularly in an environmentally sensitive area? Is there the contractor has to inform the town, or how does that work?
So what
mean-
happens is usually the homeowners are having problem with their septic system. They're either having backup or something's going on with their tank. So they will call the pumping person to come out. And that person says, I think you have a failed system, something's not right. Here's a name of an engineer. They can come out and do an inspection. And then that Title V inspector will come out and determine whether or not they have a failed septic system. But the majority of the time, it's because the homeowner is usually having a problem.
No, but
Or
again-
it's an old cesspool that's not working, that needs to be upgraded. So then what happens, we ask for that report from the Title V inspector.
Again, but there's no formal mechanism where the town is informed. I mean, if somebody has mega bucks and just wants to write a check, that's one thing. But again, what I'm getting at is somebody who's in this problem, how does the town let them know that there's this help? And the only way we could tell them that is if somehow we get informed of the problem.
Well, when this first
Am I
came out,
making, am I making sense?
yeah, well, when it came out in 2018, we had to do a public release of it. And all the engineers usually know that we have a septic betterment program, because a lot of the engineers that design these systems know that. And they work with a lot of towns that also have the same program through the state. So a lot of the information is really given to the homeowner when the Title V inspector comes out, because they'll be like, they have a loan program, you can get this loan through the town. So it's a lot of just communication with the engineers that are designing the systems to let the homeowners know that this exists. If they think they're in a financial need.
Did this
Does
get
that answer your
approved?
question, or?
Did this get approved
Yep,
by
okay.
town meeting?
Yes.
Joan?
Yes.
So it did go before town meeting, I guess,
Yes.
is and it was before I
Yes.
was here, so.
And
but-
when the funds go down, we go back to the town and ask for additional funds. So they give us like $200,000 and we pull from that. And when those, they don't give us that cash all at once, but we give them loans up to $200,000. And when that starts to deplete, then we go back to the town meeting and we ask them to approve and to go and get a loan for $200,000 so that we can have this for, future use for homeowners.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is old business. Do we have any old business?
No old business,
All right, how about new business?
no new business.
Just a question.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question under that? The new EPA edict on forever chemicals in the water supply, is that come under our jurisdiction at all, or is that strictly the water department?
It would come under the water department.
Water department, they forward their reports to us. But it comes in, the
Okay.
water department's responsibility is to notify residents.
And we're in the loop.
We are in the loop, yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, Drew, how about a director's report?
Directors to report, we have 11 applications right now in for review for Title V. We have 4 waiting engineering revisions. We have 5 waiting Conservation Commission review, and we have 15 as-builts in line. On Thursday, May 2nd, the Dana-Farber mammogram van is going to be here across the street at St. Luke's from 7 a.m. until 3:30. You can call to make an appointment. The phone number is 617-632-1974. And that's Thursday, May 2nd, 7 to 3:30. We're also doing a presentation, or we've asked Plymouth County Mosquito Control is coming down to the library. It's the 29th,
29th, Monday.
the same as town
next
meeting.
Monday.
Yes, Monday, the 29th, April 29th, at the town library. Plymouth County Mosquito Control is going to do a tick and mosquito presentation from 3:30 to 5. Town meeting doesn't start till 7, so you'll have plenty of time to be able to go and learn all about ticks and mosquitoes. I'll tell you, the ticks are out in force already. I have a white dog, and I took him for a walk yesterday, and I picked 8 ticks off of him on leash when I got home, too. So it's a great presentation. I went to that presentation about a month ago down at their headquarters. It was really interesting, and you do learn a lot about how to protect your own home from mosquitoes and ticks. The other thing I would like to touch on is, the hoarding situation that we have here in Scituate. And I just want to give, a shout out to our outreach coordinator down at the Council on Aging, Kelly Walsh, and our own LSC, Erica Soros. They've been working, they really work so well together. And it's such a tough issue. When we get called, it's usually at really crisis point. And we work so closely with the Scituate Fire Department. I can't tell you how good they are when they go down and do home visits and checks and what we're looking for. The police department, social elder services. We had a little crisis this past Friday, and we get out at 11:45 on Fridays. But, we work late into the afternoon to make sure an individual had their water turned back on so that they can stay in their house. The house has a lot of other issues. Our main goal is always to try to keep people in their homes. We want to make sure that they're safe, that they have fire exits, that their smoke detectors work. They don't have things piled up on their stoves. You know, it's a real humanitarian effort many times when you're just dealing with one individual that just sometimes they don't want help, and that's when it's even more difficult. This individual was willing to accept help, so it made it that much better for us to help her or him. But I just wanted to, elaborate and just tell the valuable work that they do with mental health. And, we're always trying to get more funding for it, trying to get more LCSs down into Scituate. We've already had an additional one, Stephanie, who has done tremendous work here also through our Public Health Excellence Grant. So it's just one of the things that it really tears at my heart, because you see it, and that could be my grandfather or my grandmother and my parents even. So I just wanted to end on that. Watch out for your neighbors. If you see anything, let us know. We want to try to make sure that Scituate residents are as safe as possible. And I'll end my director's report with that.
Drew, thanks for that update. It's
Thank
great
you.
to hear the great work that you're doing to protect these folks. It's fantastic. So we do have some other business. Joan, I don't think we have any meeting minutes, do we, to approve?
No, we don't.
Okay,
Those will all, we will, yeah.
Yeah.
okay. And do we have administrative invoices?
We do have one administrative invoice. It is for a perk test, a perk witness test for $280. A perk witness test is basically when someone wants to put in a new system, they have to go down and dig a hole 10 feet deep and then go an additional 2 feet, put a bucket in, fill it with water. Sometimes it takes an hour for it to drain. Sometimes it takes 5 hours. You need someone there to witness it. And that's when we come before you with a perk witness invoice. That's basically what it's for. And this is for $280.
Does somebody want to make a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Okay, and Allison, how do you vote?
Approved.
And John, how do you vote?
Approved.
And I vote yes as well. Okay, any other business?
One last thing. I know Doug's not here. I tried to get him to come tonight. I just want to thank Doug White for his years of service to the board. He left and we were in a quandary for a while where we were having trouble even trying to get a quorum to get to get a meeting together. And he stepped back up until John volunteered. And John, we can't thank you enough for coming on, and Allison for coming on.
Thank you.
It's very nice to have a stable board. So thank you so much to Doug, and thank you for you three for volunteering to, be part of Scituate and be part of the Board of Health. And I can't thank you enough. And there you go.
Happy to be here.
And it's too bad we
Thank you.
can't have a Doug celebration, but I can understand that. We should count how many meetings he's been to and send him
I
some kind of
know.
the number of
Yeah,
I
meetings.
know that the town select board is going to be doing something for him.
Oh, that's good. That's great.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, if there's no other business, then does someone want to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Make a,
Okay, and Allison, how do you vote?
yes.
And John
Yes.
and Karen, I say yes as well. So thanks everybody and
you.
enjoy. Go Bruins.